Thank you so much, Mr. Assassi, for that introduction. It's wonderful to be back here in Ottawa. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tigray War in Ethiopia currently stands as the deadliest armed conflict of the 21st century and the bloodiest since the end of the Cold War. Some credible estimates state that over 1 million people have died, both civilian and soldiers. But despite this staggering loss of life, and despite the magnitude of this tragedy, the world has largely turned a blind eye to this forgotten war. Initial international efforts have faded away. The International Commission of Human Rights Experts on Ethiopia has ceased operations without completing its work. The US has returned to providing financial and economic assistance to Ethiopia as if nothing had ever happened. And even the European Union has resumed its $680 million of development strategy with Ethiopia. This neglect by the international community is extremely serious. It is a serious breach of international law that have not been thoroughly investigated and adequately addressed. And it's for this reason that the New Lines Institute commissioned this groundbreaking report to shed light on the sheer scale and variety of the criminal conduct in Tigray. And the result is that we have produced the most comprehensive report on this subject that examines the evidence and provides the most extensive and detailed legal analysis. We approach this report through the lens of the Genocide Convention, but we also outline paths to accountability at national and international levels. The report took over 2 years to do and involved hundreds of thousands of words. And this is not something new. The New Lines Institute did extensive reports on genocide, on the Uyghur issue, on the Rohingya and in Ukraine. And this was the logical next project to ensure that the Genocide Convention is upheld. All sides, to be clear, committed war crimes, but in particular the report finds that the Ethiopian National Defence Force, the Eritrean Defence Force and the Amhara Special Forces committed crimes against humanity and genocidal acts against the Tigrayan people. Genocidal acts were part of a deliberate plan and supported at the most senior level. To give you an example, one of the Prime Minister's Social Affairs advisors said on record, the Tigrayans, they should be erased and disappeared from historical records. A person who wants to study them should find nothing about them. Maybe he can find out about them by digging in the ground. That's a quote from the Prime Minister's Special Advisor. The report also finds that Ethiopia, as a state party, breached the Genocide Convention and was obligated to prevent and punish genocide. In light of this report, we can no longer allow this tragedy to remain in the shadows. It is now time to take a stand. It is time to recognise the atrocities that have been committed, and it is time that decisive action to ensure justice for the victims of genocide in Tigray is delivered soon. And with that, I'll pass it back to the Chair.
Absolutely.